everyone, and welcome to a sparkling episode of the MyGBC podcast. Today, we are thrilled to present a program feature interview that shines a spotlight on the incredible talent within our community. So, in this episode, I have the pleasure of welcoming a student from our STEAM jewelry program who is transforming their passion for crafting adornments into a promising career. So, get ready to listen to the fascinating journey of our guest as we explore the world of design, craftsmanship, and artistry in the realm of jewelry making. It's definitely going to be a gem of a conversation, and I'm very excited to have it with Samantha. So yeah, I have Samantha with me here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the cloudy weather outside. It's pretty dark, but it's actually pretty warm as well. So like it said that it's a record high for October. It's like 16 degrees, which is like, wow, it's October.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, let's start with you and a little bit about what you do in the school. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what year you're in?
Sure. So my name is Samantha. I am in the 5th semester of my 3rd year in the jewelry arts program. And I'm actually currently working on my thesis right now. So I'm designing jewelry based off of Chinese nature symbolism. And these symbols, they represent the 5 aspects of a happy life. So, for example, I incorporate the shape of bamboo scaffolding from Hong Kong to represent strength and good health, and also a peach sprout growing out of amber to represent long life and courage. And besides my jewelry, I also work part-time as an art teacher. So I teach an age range between 5 to 13 years old, and I teach them fine art. And I find that a lot of these skills are very transferable to the jewelry program.
Yeah.
So then eventually I would like to open my own studio selling my more nature-inspired jewelry, but also teach silversmithing workshops.
Amazing. Honestly, just the few sentences that you said, your life sounded very interesting to me. I was like, oh my God. This thesis sounds very interesting. Teaching kids, that also sounds very interesting.
Yes.
So good for you. But one question that I had, like, what kind of materials do you use for these jewelry? I assume there is like a set of materials that you can choose from, but for this thesis project specifically, what is it that you're using?
For the thesis, it's a majority mostly sterling silver. And then with the sterling silver, we can accent it with different kinds of gemstones, with different carats of yellow gold, white gold. Currently, we are working on our 18 karat gold ring. So there is quite a large range of precious metals that we could use.
It's amazing. I said it once before, but still I'm like, oh my God. So my next question is this your first program that you're taking, or have you ever done any other post-secondary programs before within GBC or any other places?
So not within GBC, but I did study psychology at U of T. So then before this, I was considering becoming a clinical psychologist. But then during COVID, I did some volunteering in the industry, and I kind of realized I didn't see myself pursuing this career pathway for a very long time. So I decided to try the jewelry arts program instead, because before the program, I enjoyed making crafts anyway that are just very small scale. So like micro crochet or like making little like figures out of polymer clay. So then now that I'm in my 3rd year, I don't regret my decision on coming here because I've just been having so much fun.
It's great.
So it's been great.
Yeah, I was gonna just ask you, how are you finding the program so far? So it sounds like you are really enjoying it.
Yes.
That's amazing. And so like, can you tell us a bit about like the courses? What are the core courses that everyone in your program takes, and what are they like?
So there are 3 types of jewelry programs. The jewelry arts program is the 3rd year program, and it's a pretty equal focus on both goldsmithing skills and jewelry design. And then there are the jewelry methods and the jewelry essentials, which just focuses on just goldsmithing skills and no design work. And the goldsmithing skills, they include things like sawing, filing, forming metal into different shapes, soldering, gem setting. And there are also CAD design courses, casting, but then there's also electives you can take beyond these. So like enameling, micro gem setting. But in terms of core courses, there are courses like industry skills, which really start to train you on refining your goldsmithing skills to create more complex pieces according to requirements that they give you. And then industry skills eventually leads into your projects courses. So then in projects A, B, C, and D, they focused on making initial sketches of your designs on paper. And then it progresses to paper models and then brass and copper models. And then eventually you get to create your finished piece in silver and gold. Ideally at that point, it should be perfect and the best piece that you could produce.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And so you're in your third year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an advanced diploma program, I assume.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and do we have any other like diploma programs for jewelry program, or is it just this program that we have?
So there's a jewelry arts 3-year program, and then there's a 2-year jewelry methods, and then the certificate jewelry essentials.
Those are programs. Interesting.
Yeah, there are 3, but then it's also closely associated with the gemology certificate as well.
Interesting. So there is a lot of options if somebody decides that they want to like a shorter program or specifically like study something more specific to their interests, which is amazing. And like in terms of your assignments, what kind of assignments do you have? I assume it's one of those programs where you don't do a lot of like, essays and writing and stuff, more like projects. So yeah, how are your assignments like?
The assignments, they're all very hands-on. We don't write a lot of essays, except, I mean, we do have reports, but they're mostly just you take pictures so that the profs know what you are doing, and then you write little like point form notes to kind of go through your thought process. But it's not necessarily just APA citation kind of papers.
Coming from psychology, that should be very different for you.
Yes, it is, but I love it because it's just not as stressful, I think. So.
Yeah, I always say like with projects, it's not like that you're doing less work. It's just that you have your time, you take your time and you do it. And it's probably more fun if you're interested in more like hands-on stuff, because it's not an essay. A lot of people are not interested in essays. I personally can write them, but I'm not so into them. So yeah, it's good for those kind of people like me.
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah, so we talked about the courses a little bit, but my question is, which course or courses, it can be more than one, make you feel very excited about the class, and why is that?
Well, I'm pretty excited to go to Project C this semester because in our projects courses, Project C and D, we're working on our thesis. So then we're working through the entire design process, and then we eventually end with the most perfect jewelry piece for our thesis. And the timeline for this course is very tight, and we have to focus on overlapping assignments in that course.
Yeah.
So recently we just submitted our brooch for our thesis. But while we were constructing our brooch, we had to start to design and make models for our ring, which is coming up. So then I find that for Project C and eventually Project D, you have to be very flexible in your thinking because you need to jump in between these two designs, but you also have to be focused enough to work on them to the best you can. But when they finally start to come together and you can compare it to your beginning sketches, it's very rewarding and very satisfying because you can kind of just see the progress that you've made from beginning to end.
For sure. Yeah, I find that with like arts and crafts, it's usually that way. Like it's a lot of work and you're like, oh my God, this is taking a lot of time. But then at the end, when you see the result, it's actually very rewarding. And you're like, I did something cool, which is amazing. I assume this program, again, as you said, like it's a lot of hands-on learning and all that stuff. And it should be quite a lot of work, I assume. So, what is the hardest thing about this program for you?
The hardest thing I feel like is definitely time management
Mhm.
because it's personally, I find that it's not necessarily the skills you learn, like the goldsmithing skills, because you can achieve a good results just with practice and time. Like, for example, we are usually in the studio for maybe 7 hours each day. So it's quite a long time to develop your skills.
Oh,
But these assignments, they all take a lot of time and they all overlap. So then you have to really know what to prioritize. And in very like crunch time situations, it's very challenging. And so you need to consider your schedule very, very closely.
yeah.
Um, so so if you spend too much time on a project, it's just going to start to push all your other projects down even farther on the list.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting. And
yeah.
like you spend 7 hours in the workshops every day. Do you go to school every day?
Yeah, about 7 hours. It depends on when the studio's open and when they close.
Hmm.
But I usually spend about 7 hours.
Okay,
But
so I guess it
yeah.
depends on the person as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. But you can go into the workshops whenever you want to do your own projects. Like you don't need to be in a class to be in a workshop, right?
Yeah. The classes are
Okay.
usually scheduled in the morning and they're usually about like 3 hours, 9 to 12. But then afterwards, we can just spend until the studios close, just working on things, or we can work on small personal projects as well.
Okay, now like the opposite of that question is what is the coolest or most fun thing that you've done in this program so far?
So I feel like it's hard to choose because there were just so many assignments that I really enjoyed doing. But one of the coolest things I think is definitely making a gold box catch.
Cool.
Because at the end it was really like oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually made this and it works kind of moment.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and just I guess just for background information, a box catch is just something you can use to secure a more heavier bracelet, like a tennis
Hmm.
bracelet is closed with a box catch, or like a heavier
Oh,
pendant. And
it's
for this
interesting.
assignment, we have to work very small scale, and the box had to close very tightly and has to close with a click sound. So you basically know you made it correctly when it clicks together. And it was fun also because it just felt like you're making a very expensive fidget toy.
For sure. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
click, I feel like that's like the final sums up for you to be like, good job. Like you did it. That's correct.
Yes,
That's really,
exactly.
that's so cool. And how about like, how has it been for you meeting new people and working with your classmates? Do you do a lot of like group assignments or do you work together in the workshop? I guess because you spend a lot of time in there, or how's it like?
Yeah, so I find that it was pretty great meeting my classmates for the first time.
Hmm.
I didn't feel like it was hard to break the ice because in first year we just had online classes during the pandemic. So you kind of start to remember some names and you get to know some people.
Yeah.
So then for the first time we met in person last year in second year, you kind of have an idea of who they were from the online classes. So it wasn't too intimidating getting to know everyone.
Hmm.
And the studio atmosphere, we're pretty friendly to each other because, like, as you said, we're usually working in the studio together for just several hours. And if there is an aspect that we struggle with in one of our projects, there will be other people who are there to help you and give some advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a way, working together on challenging assignments, it really helps to just bring everyone together. And also the profs encourage a very collaborative environment as well. So because it's such a small program and it's also a pretty small industry. So then by the end, you really learn to trust and rely on each other.
Yeah, for sure. And so after or like while you're studying in this program, are you going to have a placement or a co-op program?
In the jewelry arts program, and I believe jewelry methods as well, there is a field education course that you can take in the final semester, and
Hmm.
it acts like a co-op.
Okay.
Um, but it's not mandatory. So you can choose to participate or not,
Mhm.
because I heard it takes a lot of time out of your week. So if you do work part-time already, it'll be very difficult to manage that course with a part-time job and also your assignments on top of that.
For sure. Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't take the field ed course because I also work part-time as a teacher on the weekends. But it is a very good opportunity for people looking to work or even just volunteer in the industry after graduation.
Yeah. And does the school like assist you with finding the placement, or are you responsible for finding a place to work for?
The school has really good connections with the industry, so they do have placements already in mind that they
Mhm.
have contacted before, so that they help guide you with applications and interviews in those placements.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great plus.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of jobs does this program prepare someone for?
So the jewelry industry in Toronto, it's a small industry, but there are very many areas that this program can lead to.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like for example, you could work as a bench jeweler, making custom work or doing repairs. You can be a jewelry designer and renderer, so you're making digital or traditional art. You
Mhm.
can sell at art shows. You can run a brick and mortar store. You can sell online. You can teach workshops. Um, but you can also continue your education in gemology at George Brown, or
Oh.
you can, yeah. So you can also specialize in skills like gem setting, engraving. You can do CAD designing, and then work with
Mhm.
3D printing, and then cast jewelry. So basically just pouring molten metal into a mold and then just becomes a solid piece. And then, so a lot of these are you can either be very client facing, but you also have the option to do business to business.
Amazing. And the gemology program that you mentioned, that's a post-secondary, sorry, not post-secondary, a postgraduate program?
You could do it postgraduate, but a lot of people, it's something you could choose to do before the jewelry program or after.
Oh,
They're separate. So,
okay.
mhm.
Okay, I get it. That they can go together, but it's not like one is like you need to take one to go to the other one.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. And are you planning on doing any schooling after this, or is this the last one that you're doing and you're like, I'm going to the industry?
I mean, I would like to come back to do the gemology certificate
Amazing.
because a knowledge in gemstones, I find it's very useful in making jewelry. And it's
For
also
sure.
useful for like marketing and sales.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
because I'm thinking that if I were to sell my own work, I want my clients to trust me, to know what I'm actually selling, but
Yeah.
also I don't want to mislead them into some weird direction.
Yeah.
But before that, I would like to open my own business and then just earn some money first and establish myself before I decide to come back here to study
Yeah,
more.
for sure. And how long is that program?
It's just 1 year.
Okay. And my last question for you is, do you have any public social media accounts that you'd like to share with us, or for our listeners to connect with you or not?
Yeah, I do. I have some of my pieces uploaded on my Instagram account.
Amazing.
It's samyeung.studio. So it's SAMYEUNG.studio. And
Amazing.
as I'm working through my thesis, I'm planning on updating my account. So if there's anybody listening, I hope you guys check it out and stay tuned because I will be updating.
Sure. Yeah. I personally really like the idea that you described for your thesis.
Yeah,
And
thank
yeah,
you.
for everyone and our listeners, if you're interested to learn more about jewelry program at George Brown, definitely make sure that you're following Samantha because you can learn a lot about the program. And I'm sure if you send her some questions once in a while, she would be very happy to respond to questions.
Yes, I will be.
For sure. And amazing. Thank you so much, Samantha. As I wrap up this conversation, I just want to say again, thank you a lot for coming over. To our dedicated listeners, thank you for joining us today and being a part of this journey, like always. I really hope that you found this conversation as inspiring as I found it. It's evident to me personally that the jewelry program at GBC is preparing our students for an exciting and creative future in the field. From core courses that they have to meeting new people and creating remarkable pieces, the program definitely offers a wealth of experiences for those who are interested in anything about jewelry. So stay tuned for more episodes of the MyGBC podcast like this one. And until next time, take care. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. This has been very fun, actually.
Thanks.